Hello students, my name is Bhavna Singh. I am working as an assistant professor at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurugram. This is a tutorial on software engineering and today we are going to have our first lecture, so let's get started. So these are the topics that we will discuss today in this lecture. First one is what is software engineering, its definition, what is software crisis, what are the various factors that are responsible for software crisis, how can we prevent it, that is what is the solution of software crisis, software process, its objectives and characteristics of the software. In order to study this subject, it is very much important for all of us to understand what is software engineering, what is the purpose of this term, why do we use it. Software engineering is nothing but an approach to develop a software. That is, it is a systematic approach. Systematic means step-by-step approach that uses various techniques, various principles, methods that we can use to develop a software product. Software engineering is made up of two basic terms, that is software and engineering. Let's discuss about software first. Software is a set of programs. Now, before understanding software, we should know the meaning of the term program and instruction. Let's take an example that suppose we have a code written in C language or C++ language, and each statement of that code is known as LOC. LOC means lines of code, or we can say LOC means a single statement or a single instruction. So program is nothing but a set of or a collection of instructions. And now we can easily correlate all these terms together, that is software is a set of programs is a set of instructions. And instruction, what do you mean by one instruction? One single instruction means one single LOC, that is one single line of code. And the term engineering means it's a process of designing or it's a process of building something, or we can say it's an art to create something that serves a particular purpose. Now next is characteristics of software engineering. It is training and designing work. By designing we mean we are creating a kind of architecture or a blueprint for a software product. It involves the building of a software at moderate cost. Why it is costing minimum? Because we are using a proper planning with the help of software engineering, and we are using a systematic approach for the development process. Now we'll discuss about software crisis. These are the basic problems that arises during the development process of a software product. And these problems arises whenever we are unable to write resourceful and efficient programs in a required time, or we are unable to succeed some timeline. And most of the times these arises whenever we are using same methods or same obsolete techniques or some tools, even though for our complex applications and increasing challenging demand of a software product. Now these are the various factors that are responsible for the software crisis. First one is fail to meet user requirements. That is, if a developer is not able to deliver what the user actually expect, or it is not able to fulfill the user's requirements. Secondly, if the cost of the software is very high and if the software is not delivered on the specified time, the software is not reliable, that is, it is not performing what it is intended to do, or the problem or the software is very large in size and the code is difficult to maintain. And if the code is difficult to maintain, then it becomes very much difficult for the developers or the programmers to understand the existing software. And because of this, they will not be able to understand the software and to add some more features to the existing software in the future. Now these are the various solutions by which these crises can be handled in an efficient way. The first one is reduction in software over budget. That is, if we are able to develop a software within a limited cost and we are providing a high quality software to the users. Third, if we are not delaying the time period for the development process, and it can be reduced to some extent if we hire some experienced persons for the development process. Software process. Now first understand what is the meaning of this term process. Process is nothing but a way of doing something, and that process that we are using to develop a software is known as the software process. And the process includes that what methods we are using, what set of activities we are using to develop a certain software. Every organization follows some process to develop for the development of the software product, and it varies from organization to organization. That is, some organization they pay more attention to the documentation part, some pay attention to the testing part. Overall, the aim of all the organization is to achieve a certain goal, is to achieve a certain profit. So basically, every company, every organization has his its own process to develop a software product. Now these are the various objectives of software process. The first one is effectiveness. Effectiveness means how effectively we are producing a software that is according to the user's expectation and it is fulfilling all the requirements that was given by the user. Second one is quality. Software process must impart a quality to the software product. Third one is improvement. Improvement means the process must be flexible enough so that it must allow for the improvement, and it must be flexible enough to add some or more features to a software. Let's suppose some features becomes obsolete in the future. So to handle that problem, we must be able to add more features to the existing software. Fourth one is maintainability. A good process should always be maintainable. That is, it must be easy enough so that the developers can handle it or can operate on it easily. Now we have 5 characteristics of the software. The first one is software is not manufactured. The term manufacturing we use for the physical products. For software we use a term developed, or we can say engineered. In case of hardware product, the product cost is due to the raw material or the other expenses, other processing expenses you can say. But in case of software, it is not manufactured in the classical sense. Third one is software is flexible. Why we are using this term flexible? Because software is easy to change. It can easily adapt to user requirements, and it allows us to add some features to the existing software. Fourth one, a software component should be designed. That means it should, so some components of the software should be redesigned or should be reusable so that the programmers can use it to develop the new applications based on the previous one. Last one is software doesn't wear out. Wear out term also we use for the hardware products or for the physical products that wear out due to the environmental conditions. But in software case, it is different thing, and it becomes reliable over time instead of wearing out, because software becomes obsolete due to new requirements, new expectations, but it doesn't wear out. Now to make the things more clear, let us take an example of a bathtub curve that explains the failure rate of the hardware. In the previous slide, we were talking about that the hardware wear out but the software does not. So this example explains that concept. This figure that you everybody is seeing is known as the bathtub curve. It shows the failure rate of a hardware with time. In the life of a hardware product, there are basically 3 phases. The first one is burn-in phase, second one is useful life phase, and the third one is wear-out phase. Burn-in phase is the initial phase where the failure intensity is very high, because the failure may occur due to the design and manufacturing defects, but with the testing or with the fixing faults or defects, these defects or these errors we can correct, and the failure rate drops and may stabilize after some time. In the second phase, that is the useful life phase, failure intensity is slightly constant, and this is the phase when we are using that software product or that hardware product. And as time passes, there is a third phase, that is the wear out phase. This is the phase where the failure rate rises again, as the hardware components they can suffer from various kinds of dust, or you can say temperature extremes, etc. So this is the phase where the hardware product slightly becoming wear out. In this slide, we are comparing the life cycle of a hardware and a software. The life cycle of a hardware product is explained with the help of a bathtub, and the second graph is showing the failure rate of a software product, that is the life cycle of a software product. This graph is showing that initially the failure rates in the life cycle of a software product are quite high, and these failures occur due to some undiscovered defects in the software product, and as these faults are corrected, the failure rate starts decreasing with time and the curve flattens. So this shows that the failure rate is not increasing as the time passes, but it's slightly starting decreasing. So this indicates that software doesn't wear out, it only deteriorates. That means due to some changes or due to changes with time, it becomes obsolete, but it doesn't wear out. These are the important questions that can help you all to prepare for your exams. So this was all about today's lecture about the basic introduction of software engineering. If you guys have any problem or you are facing any query, you can contact me on Google Meet so that I can solve your problems. Thank you so much for watching.